Saints and Consecrate leaders, how are you? Thank you for clicking on the video. This is your walkthrough for Sunday, the 11th of February. Sunday, the 11th of February. As I stand here now, the first thing that hits me is like, wow, 2024's just started and we're already halfway through Feb? No, but we are. I think that's just because I'm getting old. Anyway, how are you? Well done. We are halfway through our 2-week series on true love, as you can see at the top corner there. Today, we're going to be taking two slightly different tacks. The children are going to go one way slightly and the youth are going to go another way slightly. For the youth, let's quickly go over it. We're going to be recapping last week. What happened in 1 Corinthians 13:3. 1 Corinthians 13:3. What happened in 1 Corinthians 13:1 to 13. And 1 John 4, God is love. We used the song. We were explaining love to our alien visitor friends. Do you remember them? They're cool guys, aren't they? And this week our focus or takeaway is going to be love your wives just as Christ loved the church. We're going to do Ephesians 5 and John 15, and we're going to be slightly more relationship and marriage focused. Not that we want to spend the whole time talking about marriage, but relationship and marriage focused in our way with them. And with the children, we're going to be love your neighbour as yourself. So Matthew 22:9. So there are teaching notes, and that got everything? No, it's not. Let's get all of that. Here's your teaching notes for the young saints. With the youngest ones, we're going to be looking at Matthew 22, 34 to 40. Sorry, and making some bullet points here. Again, riffing off of the 1 Corinthians 13, of course, and having a response. Part of the response to that is we're talking about how to make the love practically visible and demonstrated to other people. Hence, love your neighbour as yourself. So we've got this sheet, which is a takeaway for all the kiddies, and it's got a Monday to Saturday on it, because obviously today that you're doing this is Sunday. And going back down that 1 Corinthians 13 list, how do we practically show that love to other people? So as a prompter, as a sheet for reflection, perhaps at the end of the day, we've given them this. Today I showed patience when I... Tuesday. Today I showed kindness when I... Today I showed forgiveness when I... Now they're all attributes of love, but trying to help the kids reflect on how did they love today? How did they demonstrate God's love to those around them? Yes, today I told the truth when I... Telling the truth is an act of love. That's what 1 Corinthians 13 tells us. Today I protected someone I love when I... Today I showed trust in someone. Trusting someone is an act of love. So that's what we're doing with the young ones. With the older ones, we're going to do exactly the same thing again, to be honest. We've just got extra script to throw in there about it too. You can read the notes. I'm not going to patronise you by reading them all for you and then explain them and then ask you to read them yourselves. You know how it goes. So let's recap last week, build on what we learnt last week, and then add this love your neighbour as yourself into it. So it's a very practical morning. It's a very others-focused morning, as yes, we're called to love, but we're not just called to love in the abstract. We're called to love another person, those close to us, those around us, even our enemies. So we can remind ourselves, perhaps you might want to use this as your recap for last week. Do you remember these cards where we had different qualities or attributes on them? Enduring, is that something that love is or is not? Enduring, yes. Love endures all things. Love never gives up. That's a yes. Love rejoices in the truth. That's a yes. I'm not going to get them all out because I'll just have to tidy them up again. So mix up the cards there and see if your group can correctly allocate these attributes to a yes, that's something that love is or love does, or no, that's something that love would never do. There we go. Again, on your USB sticks, you've got the song Real Love. Some of you will have the song True Love on your USB sticks. God is Love from 1 John 4 is a great background song to have on while you've got your guys doing the craft and all that sort of stuff. We have also got, speaking of craft for you to do. As you can see, there's lovely decorated love signs. You're going to get some blank pieces of card that look like this, and they hopefully have a score line down the middle of them. And this is a little love card for your group to make. And they can decorate it. They can put pictures and flowers and stickers and all sorts on there to make it look fancy. And maybe they want to write a little note in there to someone that they love, and maybe they want to give it to someone that they love. Lovely. That would be a great thing to do. We also have, for the older ones who are good with their words and their letters, we have an anagram page. So this is the answers, but the example will be given to everyone, but these other ones will be blank, so they won't give you the answer. This is the actual answer sheet. Don't show everyone the answer sheet. So begin hour. What word, if we muddled up the letters of begin hour as in the time hour, we would write neighbour. Yes, flower. Quite amusingly. Flour as in what we make bread with. Yourself. Formet. Matthew. Our TV eel. True love, that's our theme. And noisy sun tag. That's young saints. There you go. So a little word scramble for our older ones. And for anyone that wants to, there we go. Love your neighbour. A little high five craft there. Some children enjoying loving their neighbour there. So that's the basic premise of the children's craft and the children's session as a whole. It's love, again, with a recap of 1 Corinthians 13, but also today taking a real practical edge of how can I, what will I actually do to love my neighbour as myself? So then with teenagers, we're doing the same thing. Again, how practically do I love my neighbour as myself? And we'll tease that out through what it says in Ephesians 5 about marriage. And is it just men that submit to women, or just women that submit to men? Or is it actually that it says that both should submit to one another? Yes. So we want to discuss married life. We can't complain that young Christians don't have a right view of married life if we don't ever talk about it. So today's the time to talk about that. John 15 also, reading 9 to 17, and again there are some shout outs that I've put in there for specific verses of there are questions that we can discuss in our group. So again, this is a discussion based time. You can do it in one whole group or smaller groups if you want to, but read the scriptures together and ask the questions. Okay, again, our challenge for today, setting up our conclusion here, whenever we have the opportunity, we should always do good to everyone, especially those in the family of faith. What does it mean for us to show love to those around us? If we were to meet, or someone were to meet us, would they know that we're a Christian by our action? And how can we demonstrate our love for God and others? Because that's the overflow of our love for God, isn't it? Because he loves everyone else, we love the people that he loves, right? So loving others is a demonstration of our love for God. How does that exemplify itself in our life and our actions and our deeds this week? Guys, thank you so much for serving our children and young people this week. You are a massive blessing to our children and our young people in the congregation that you are serving in. This weekend, I pray that God's grace and his peace will be with you as you navigate your way through this topic of love. Have a brilliant, brilliant time. Never forget that God is good. Your life matters. Your contribution matters. Thank you for serving our children and young people today. God bless you. See you soon. All the best. Bye.
God is love. Whoever lives in love lives.